Welcome to Crafts and Minis. It's been another good week of painting. Here's a continuation of my hashtag hobby streak. I'm now on day 15 actually, so I've had 2 weeks in the books, and these are all the miniatures I was able to paint by just chipping away at it just one day at a time, even sometimes just a half an hour a day. And if you watched my last video, you know my opinion is just get it table ready and get it done. Because as many people say, done is beautiful. So I wanted to take you on a quick tour of all the miniatures I got done this week. We'll start up front. These grubs, these maggot looking guys, are from Heresy Miniatures out of the UK. And they produce some incredible miniatures to work with, especially for Dungeons and Dragons and your tabletop role-playing games. So I love those. And those actually I'm going to be using in conjunction with this miniature from the board game Myth. If you see on the side here, it actually has sculpted into it these little orifices where the maggots come from. So in an encounter, this will be producing those green maggots. And I love the board game Myth and all the folks at MegaCon Games who put this together. And there are so many miniatures to be used in the tabletop. I also got 10 zombies done from Mantic Games. I'm a player of Kings of War. I got to get back into that. They have some great figures for zombies that are super easy to assemble. They're very dynamic poses. And if you just want some quick zombies on the table, they are good to go. I also got done some gnolls from Reaper Miniatures. This first one's the Gnoll Shaman. Now these are bigger than the gnolls you would see in my Frostgrave video. Actually quite considerably bigger, but for character models they're terrific. And then also you see tucked in behind here is an Umber Hulk from WizKids. He was super quick to paint. If you don't count drying time, that's a 10-minute paint job. Now some of you might say, well yeah, of course, that's obvious. But I really liked it. Next to him is a Razor Fiend, this guy with the red shiny spikes. Those will be less shiny once the weather gets better, so I can put a matte coat of varnish on him. Those will be dulled down considerably. But that's a really unique miniature, again, from the Myth board game. Now next to it is a miniature that started life like this. This is a figure from the Dollar Tree. It's a wrestling miniature, not even miniature, it's a wrestling toy that I slapped on a different base, put a weapon in its hand, and painted it up super quick. That paint job I don't want to linger on too much. But I was just kind of experimenting to see if those toys were salvageable at all. I have probably another 7 that have weapons from Ogre Kingdoms box set, if you recognize that from Games Workshop, Warhammer. But we'll see. It looks okay. I don't have any serious plans for any of those. Next to him is a figure from Massive Darkness. Now this is coming across really shiny, and it is. It is a super shiny figure. The way I painted it with like this Tamiya kind of cherry red. That's great for blood and all of that, but it's a really cool figure. Now back here is another miniature from Myth, this large size skeleton miniature, and I really like this. In fact, there's a monster in the new Monsters of Feyland book from Cowwood Publishing that this is going to be perfect for, so I'm very excited about that. Next to him is a demon from Massive Darkness, again, super quick to paint up. And then is another Dollar Tree find. So this is a figure that you can tell is a Disney villain that has a new life as a large size villain for tabletop role playing. The metal hand that I put on there, I swapped out. It had a hand with a staff. And actually, like, I know Blackmagic Craft has a video of turning this into a statue. But I thought, that could work for just a regular mini too. And so that hand is actually from the Ghoul set from Mantic Games, from Kings of War. They have a hand like that that's oversized, like some sort of clawed hand that you put on on the ghouls, but I really like that. I think it turned out pretty good for a $1 miniature. Now, this big crew here, these 18 models all started life on sprues like this. And if you watched my first video on Gourmity, this is also, I believe, a sprue produced by Gourmity that I picked up from eBay sellers in the UK. And they have different styles of these, but they fit in really well for 28 millimeter. They actually are probably more closer to 32 millimeter, but I'm going to use these as like elven constructs of some sort. They have like very distinct ears, you know, and this is just a quick paint job, but these are going to be usable in a lot of different ways. But again, you can't argue with 18 quick to paint miniatures. So this is my Hobby Streak Week 2. I appreciate you checking in. I love this community. I love sharing everything that we're doing. If you want to follow me on Twitter, that'd be awesome. I give you a little hashtag Hobby Streak update each day for what I'm doing. Just a quick work in progress shot. Also, I appreciate all the likes and comments. And I know my last video last week was shared quite a bit, so I got a lot of views, and I'm really tickled by that. But if you want to subscribe so you can stay updated on all the progress, and so I can give you more tips on miniatures, and I'm definitely going to get into terrain too to show you, but I just want to keep encouraging you. Go get after your hobby.